there's a cross section of uh, cyber warfare with cyber criminality, and the idea of what do regular people need to be worried about, what do nation states need to be worried about, and then where does hybrid warfare come in? So these are just some of the things we're going to talk about today, because uh, everything is IT, and with everything being IT, there's always a cross section between cyber and real world effects. So, Jared, before we get into uh, some of the particulars that we want to really discuss today, we're watching the news, we're looking at Ukraine, and we're looking at some of the things going on there, and it's pretty apparent that Ukraine is winning the social media war without doubt. But an interesting report I just saw a couple days ago where they the Ukrainians basically took about roughly 2,000 IDs and dumped them into cyberspace on information they exposed from about, I think it was 650 FSB agents and another 1600s. What kind of cross section of worlds do you see with that sort of thing?
Wow, that's a. I thought you were gonna talk about SpaceX and their ability to push back the denial of service attacks that Russia did on their Starlink terminals. But yeah, this is actually probably a better example of where we're headed, which is, I think in a certain sense, more than the SpaceX issue, Russia's getting a taste of their own medicine, and that is if you make the investment in cyber capabilities and you have people that understand, what the potentials are, it allows the smaller nation states to really punch up in a significant way, in the way that Russia has done repeatedly over the last 12 or 14 years. And Ukraine, definitely the little guy in this scenario. That's going to create some havoc for a period of time into the future. The exposure of those personalities will definitely limit their capabilities in other areas of the world, and creates a problem that Russia hasn't had to deal with yet, which is anybody attacking them in a cyber way. The whole offensive cyber capability piece is a really complex issue when you look at the legal side of it, as well as what the interpretations are relative to acts of war and that kind of thing. And the West has been very cautious to enter into that. However, Ukraine being in the situation they are, I mean, they're backed into a corner, so they're going to go ahead and drive forward with that. And I really thought that was a, a dynamic move on their part, and a huge demonstration of with very small investments you can create really big impact.
Yeah, that's really kind of what I was thinking about as well. I mean, I think some of it may be over the top, maybe sending pictures to relatives, maybe a little bit hardcore, but that was an interesting use of identity theft at a nation state level, which is something we always think about in terms of cybercrime, but seeing nation states use it as a tactical component in really social warfare is really an interesting
Yeah.
And
angle.
what you're talking about really is just another. It's just a tactic of cyber espionage, right?
Yes.
This is how nation states are able to fight or fight back or go on an offensive using cyber warfare tactics. How
Yeah.
so, Jared? I guess how prevalent are we seeing that today, and is that going to become more prevalent in the future?
I mean, I think the answer is yes. My my desires. I hope not. I mean, it's a scary bit of terrain that we're dealing with. For Ukraine to do this. So Ukraine is not a major player in the global espionage scheme of things, right? Where Russia is, the United States is, China is, Western Europe, Germany, France. We have a lot of different things we engage in. I don't think we'd want to be the first one to launch an exposure on social media of numerous known or suspected foreign agents, of Russia or China or Ukraine, because not Ukraine, North Korea, because you look back not that far, we have the big OPM breach, what could be done back to us. We don't know, who has access to all that info, and what they might be able to synthesize out of that to damage us. So, I don't think we want to pull that trigger first. But certainly, we have not engaged in any significant way in offensive cyber, and I think there's a reason. I think we're still not wanting to take the first move simply until we feel like our defenses are better, and also we understand the full implications of any offensive move that we might make.